This project is on the different genres of music and how it caused people to adopt and conform individuals as a whole in everyday society. Music has such a wide variety of cultures and styles tied into it. This shall go through the 1950s all the way to present day.
First off, here are the times of the 1950s and the 1960s. In the 1950s, music is considered as oldies. Originally, it was classified as bop music. For example, Elvis Presley was a huge hit at this time and was the most famous music artist in the industry. Elvis Presley, also known as the King of Rock and Roll, early popularized the genre of rock and kicked it into full blast. At Presley's shows, the crowds became increasingly hot and wild. At 2 concerts, they had to up the security to prevent crowd trouble from such an intriguing icon. There was a new kind of rave that no one has ever experienced before.
In the 1960s, music was starting to develop into root rock. This consisted of Jimi Hendrix, the Rolling Stones, and especially the Beatles, which were popular at this time period. The Beatles held a concert at a large stadium in which they were the first musical group to do so. Within 17 minutes, they ended up selling out of tickets, drawing in a record audience of 55,600.
Secondly, there are the 1970s and the 1980s. In the 1970s, the rock and roll period emerged from the surface and is quite popular as a classic status quo. Also, disco was a quite popular genre as well. The Jackson 5 and Diana Ross were large performers back then. Diana Ross helped change society by bridging the gap between black and white individuals. She was able to display the truth and kill myths about African Americans through her music.
In the 1980s, dance music and new wave blew up. This featured Michael Jackson, Duran Duran, and even Madonna. Michael Jackson knew how to make all types of people happy. He incorporated pop, rock, disco, and jazz into his music, which made it appealing among millions. Some even say that he was the largest figure in music.
Furthermore, here are the 1990s and the 2000s. In the 1990s, hip-hop, soul, and contemporary R&B were the 2 large hits in which R&B is still relevant. Mariah Carey, Nirvana, and Radiohead were quite popular in the 1990s. Start to notice how these artists are transitioning from their types of sound. Nirvana gave society a sense of reality with them portraying realistic youth instead of sticking to the traditional models in magazines. Also, this groundbreaking band gave them a new sense of purpose by opening up to the world about depression.
In the 2000s, pop rock hit the stage. Some artists may include Rihanna, Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, and the Black Eyed Peas. Pop music has slowly transitioned from being acoustic to being more technology-based. Pop sensation Britney Spears created the type of pop music that most of us hear today. Her and her music define this new millennium.
Finally, the time of 2010, also known as present day. In 2010, music artists like Justin Bieber, Eminem, Selena Gomez, Bruno Mars, and Adele rose to the top and still produce music today. Music is now gearing towards technological advances and is generally known as pop. Bruno Mars and his band have the ability to move one's soul through their feet. He is the combination of all that is rock and blues and is considered a pop historian with his many cultural and various decade-filled ties.
For present day, we tend to mix genres together at times and even bring back the older genres for internet entertainment purposes. Rap, EDM, and pop are the largest genres at the moment, and almost all music now includes some sort of auto-tune, dubstep box, which is known as a launch pad, or other technology-based sound product.
As you can see, tunes have definitely evolutionized throughout history and will continue to do so. Music is such a vital contribution to virtually everyone because it can cause people to react in many different ways depending on the situation. It brings people together by their passion for music. This can range from full-out ragers, concerts, or simply just driving around in the car with you and your friends. It is believed that music can be brought into any occasion with all of the genres nowadays, and the great thing is, it will further conform to American society.
The trends of music affect a society based on their views and how they slowly change pop culture. We, as a whole, have molded ourselves into a more vulgar state, but that allowed us to open up to more possibilities for creativity and individualism. Music is a very key and crucial fad that catches people's attention wherever they may be.